everybody is more interested in the stories of Amatwasa. Those stories are relevant to a lot of people because that is where they would be coming in at the entry level. That is where maybe their children would be coming in at the entry level, or their relatives. So when you get to the point where you are now a Gobela, no one relates to your story, number one, except for other Gobelas, and you're also viewed as an elder in the space. We actually need to open up and have an understanding of Gobela, their journey, their challenges as well, because there are people, how they've actually gotten to Gobela, because there's a whole lot of processing, there's a whole lot of learning and understanding and allowing and submitting that comes from your part as a Gobela, but you've had a journey to actually get there. This podcast is supposed to teach Gobelas. It's a platform to share your insights, things that you have learned with other Gobelas, so that as a Gobela, you're learning from things that you have not learned from your own bande, because you're not going to learn everything from that one space, because also the people in that bande, you will find that they are all focused on doing things in the same way, in a similar way. And if you do not venture out to learn from others, all you will know is those things in that bande. And there's so much knowledge out there that actually needs to be shared, and so that you will know that the people that you're going to encounter who are coming to initiate in your space also are going to be different, and there's different ways in which these people are going to need to be handled. And if you only know of the one way, that is what you're going to be doing with all of them, who are actually different and need to be handled differently and need to be healed differently, because we don't also have spaces where we get together, as in there's a Gobela forum out there where we are actually going to sit and thrash out issues that we encounter as Gobela. Gogo, please share with me what your challenges have been in this journey of Gobelahood.
Yeah, I think for me it's families. Families namatwasa, Gogo, to be quite honest. Families and umntwana ozayo azothwasa ephehlweni lakho. One twasa came in first. It was a third twasa. Mega zothwasa, she come from another tribe, and idloti lakhe came lasbiza another name of another tribe, outside South Africa, Meliwa. Now the family, it speaks another language, and the father disputed Idlos blindly, so very angry, and says, it can never happen like that. There is nothing like that. We don't have such a name. It was, there's a lot of stigma and discrimination amongst us as Africans as well. You cannot have such a name. Never. Not. Mina, then he says the language that he speaks. And I did not know whether to say take her and leave and whatsoever. Remember, and this twice actually came, as on the day she came, she was brought by police because she moved from another province to my home. She knew the home through her dreams, and she went to the police station, and the police brought her to my place, because this is where she was going. She was said, and she left a space of work and ran like a mad person. She was mad, and she ended up in Gauteng from another province. Well, after the Kachega issue, after the insult from the father, I did not know what to do, whether to say go, and so forth. But on that week, the father got so sick to death. And he came over the weekend and said, "Hi, Gogo, and I'm sorry, I had a dream. The person that Gogo, she's calling herself with," and I said, "She's not calling herself with." A person said that, and she said, "No, the person came to me, they were involved in a war, and Wasala, he died in this place, and that is his name. And he's relating with me, he then took the lineage, and that is his name. And this is where they were coming from before they even came to South Africa." Now what do? I was embarrassed, I was upset, but I had then said, there's nothing that I can do, whatever that you do. Then he bought two chickens to apologize. He bought 2 chickens to say he's sorry for what he has done, so that he becomes well as well. Because now we had to concentrate on him to heal him, because he was sick now. And then he became well. The challenge is when families are not supporting amaThwasa, and they leave amaThwasa to you. Others, they don't even want to pay inkomo yakho. When amaThwasa comes, when someone says, Gogo ngibonise wena, mina will never take you without your family. I will never enroll you. I will never accept you without your family. I need you to come so that I induct your family. I do thoroughly induction. I have a day set aside, 4 to 5 hours. We go through the curriculum, the processes, what is going to unfold, the prices, amadlozi mabili, and this is how I'm charging, and this is what is going to be needed. You have these things, and this one have this thing, and this is what is needed. Most of the time, families will leave their children dumping on you. You have to see that you feed them, you give them food. You have to be a mother to them, ensure that they have, if our girls have pets, and all. Ensure that you buy them clothing. Now, amaThwasa as well would have a clinch on you. I've got kids, girls, Now, they would want to be in competition with my girls. Now you have to move out of being a mother to your children, now a mother to amaThwasa. They would fight and say things. amaThwasa can swear. amaThwasa can gossip. amaThwasa can steal. As I'm sitting here today, I'm going through a divorce because of amaThwasa. I don't know how and what happened as I'm sitting here. It's because of amaThwasa that I'm going through a divorce, a very painful one. amaThwasa will have an access to your love life, to an extent that when I came from Ephehlweni, we could not even interact nomduna. Ubaba Mduna. Ubaba Mduna is someone that you respect so much, and Ubabe knew that I can't even take tea to umduna. I was not comfortable at all. Not comfortable even angati Nhloko ubaba Mduna amanzi akhe baba, I'll put amanzi stofini, but I can't take amanzi ebhavini, because I always asked ubaba, and I was this child that would say, Baba, this I can do, this I cannot do. I feel it's not correct that I could do this. Can I ask ubabe, when Ntombazane, there's a girl also, then said, can I ask ubabe Ratiba to assist me and do this? But I can do this, but I can't do that one. I feel it's too personal. I can't. amaThwasa will share your husband with you. You being away or find out later, It's so difficult in such a way that in one instant, for the first time I had amaThwasa 5. In that space, 2 of them took Mbande. They stole it when I was there. I was there, like sitting right here. And they stole it. They took it. It just disappeared. I was showing them how to sew. And they took it. And I wanted it was not there. I wanted that Mbande was not there. Gogo, I cried so much that I had to go Msamo and say, I don't know where Mbande went. I had it, but I don't know. Everyone was here, but I don't know where is it. To an extent that I had to go back in Mpumalanga and go and consult Mbande Labuya Kona to say, I've misplaced Mbande, I don't know Igupi. It was where I was sitting. I do not know where Igupi. And they just said, go back, you'll find Mbande yako. You'll find it, it's in the kitchen, they've already put it there, but it went out for 2 days. They took it. And they showed me how it went out and it went where, but you'll find it back. It will be in your house. And you'll find it will be on top of your fridge. Not where you're seated. You're seated in a small dining room, but you'll find it in the kitchen. Indeed. When I came back, Mbande was seated there. Amathwasa, others when you leave, amathwasa amanye continue to have sexual interests ephehlweni. You know, when you go to ephehlweni, as I said, that you go in there and leave everything behind. There are some medicine that may, because of cleansing and so forth, and can make you sexually high. But that it's not sexually high. In sexual fact, it's a kundalini, because your chakras are opening up. You teach them that. But I tell you, amathwasa will use their phone and want to go to a porno. Now, for me, I want a phone yako. When it's a 6 o'clock, your phone has to be msam, because I know that you're not going to sleep. You'll be busy in your phone. And that's a fight, because they want to talk. Mongene phehlweni, you say abangaphandle, they must not tell the ones that are inside. Families will ensure that they call. I had a Twasa that was terrorized by the mother, and she was insulting this child day in and day out. And I was part of the insult that she was insulting the child. And you know, I had to say in the family, calling a family, ngiyamhlawulisa. And I wanted imbuzi, I wanted inkukhu. I wanted 5,000 on top, so that I cleanse this child and also cleanse the space. It's difficult, Gogo. They fight amongst themselves if Baba Nini. They hate each other. They fight for you. They fight for the space. They will make you to choose amongst them. At some stage, I had to chase them out of my yard, all of them. And I sent them in the river to go and collect water. And go namapudlabo by Wachitela Lengapanje, not in my yard, because it's contaminated already. And go and find clean water. And go and cleanse yourself in that river. And whatever that you finish, bring that water and you stand on the gate if you still have to be part of this initiation. Now, you have to cleanse them and perform a ritual of cleansing, unnecessarily so. And call the families and tell them what has happened. Though you may not say what they did, just to say, we are cleansing because the yard is toxic now. There's this fight and this fight and this fight. It's a terrible space to have different twasas. Whether it's men or it's women, it's the same. I had 2 males that they were fighting, competing, I don't know what. You know? You don't know what they are fighting for. But it was just a competition. Others, they don't want to listen. It was linked to different teachers and so forth. They think because you are not educated to the level liabo, they can just ride on top of you. They don't respect the space as uGobela. So that's a problem. There are a lot, I can count so many for all these years.
To come to your place to disrespect you in your own home.
And as they go out, you become an enemy now to them. You become an enemy. You go to an extent, you know, one twice I went to an extent, I don't like to talk. I don't have friends. My friends are my ancestors, and friends are uGobela.The, because I was only initiated by Gobelas only, you know. When we are taking her back home, to an extent that I only found out that all what she was doing was to confide with my husband. And she spent more time outside with my husband. But we have to forgive Gogo. You are a healer. You have to heal yourself. And you have to say, I let go. It's okay. You know? And when you get there and it was an act upon you, you bring her a kaya gubu, but you become an enemy. And you can tell everyone is looking at you. We are. And you stay there. You laugh. And say, Bokoko, please do well with her. Whatever the fault that he has done, it should not happen. It was just the eye, not ilgozi lona ngugwalo. But I beg of you to heal her, continue to heal her, where I could not reach. I have done what I can. If there's a way that she has to take, may you forgive her. But I have forgiven her. I don't have grudge.
it speaks to me that uphetlo alipheli, because then when you're going through all of those things, we are being phehlwa again. So each time you are initiating umuntu, it's a kind of initiation for you again. So you keep going through this. It's a whole cycle for you, and you do not even have the luxury ukuthi manje lo muntu angimfuni, lo muntu this person has hurt me, abaketi kuwe as ushila, bete kuwe bese kunhloko. And so it's that disparity, because Sheila is still unhloko is operating through Sheila, but Sheila has to now bear burdens and Hloko as well. It's such a big challenge. I think it's bigger than all the other challenges that you speak of, because now Sheila is compromised. So where is Sheila in the space? So how do you find time to make time for Sheila? Because Nhloko takes precedence. Now things that have to do with Nhloko is taken now your marriage. Yeah. These things are not even about Sheila. These are about Nhloko. Yeah. So how do you marry the two? How do you make sure that Sheila is also looked after? Who takes care of Sheila's interests? How do you do that, Gogo?
See, I don't wish uGobela to be Gobela out there, Gogo. You said we do need counseling as uGobela. I'm a strong person, but I do break. I come to a point where one tried to kill herself in my space because of an energy that was coming from home. And you do not know what to do and what you are going to do. And they are looking at you, kids are looking at you and saying, Mama, leave this thing. How do I live? I did not ask anyone to come ePhehlweni. I did not ask anyone to be part to my home, but they are here. I don't have. I did not ask anything. And you stay there, Gogo. You stay there. And you can only go emsamo and cry if you need to cry. Because I'm not an aggressive person. And I don't believe in ukushabantwana babantu. I don't believe in doing. I can only isolate myself, to be quite honest. Isolate myself, convect the pain, and try to study. Or take my car and just go out and come back. And Thokozani Bokoko ninjani kukhona, I've bought you amabayi, I've bought you in my mind. I'm saying I hope that energy, that negative energy that was there, it has left these kids, because they become my children as well. And I can't be insultive of them, And at that time, even their parents, I had a situation where parents don't want their kids. They don't want them, and they will tell how evil they are. And we have worked so hard they write assignments, Gogo. We write assignments. Tell me about the pain. You just say, tell me about the pain. And reflecting on the pain that we have. Reflecting on what you have just said now. I'm going to give you an hour to go into your solar self and reflect on what you have said or what you have done. In a way, I'm trying to make sure that you know what you have done and give me that assignment. And let's talk and engage on this assignment. Why this had to come. You find that sometimes you were a soft target, sometimes because of the pain that they're going through, but you're the only person that is there to listen, and they make you a soft target. And the anger actually was not directed to you. It was supposed to come out somewhere. Now you then say, okay, can you please take medicine or ibudluleli asil change because it's already contaminated. Let's do this and this and this and this. You further try and assist that person to be well. For you only go in somewhere and drink water and say, this is what you called me to do. And I have taken the baton. I've taken all this pain, but I know that you'll take it away. Then I do meditation. I meditate almost the whole time. I live with meditation. I live with cleansing. I will cleanse myself, whether with incense or I'll just take a cleansing bath. Go out and cry or and lash it out and say I will be well. But I'm asking, even by chickens, on behalf of them, through the pain that they inflicted at me, may they be healed. Because as the star, that big star that is drawing this pain out of them, you are receiving this pain and it's sitting on you and it's hurting and harming you. But I need to release it. And I can't release it in the yard. I have to go outside and say to the land spirit, to the water spirit, to the air spirit, to the sun spirit, you are here to heal me. You've made me to be this person. I call upon you to heal me now because I don't know what to do. And all these ancestors, known and unknown, the ones that you've guided me to this time, the one that have given me this gift, the one that you've brought me, you knew that I'm going to go through this pain. You knew that I'm going to call upon you. You knew that this day will come. I call upon you to heal me because only the spirit can heal me. Because the physical one, I don't normally go outside that much to tell a person because I don't want to dump these painful things. Rather, I take them back where they come from. And I say, from the home where I came from, you knew before I came. I may have forgotten that this was part of my path. As part of my path, I have learned. And the lesson that I've learned is very heavy. But I'm ready to move to the next level, in the next step. And I emerge, okay. And I'll smile and say, thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing me this thing. But unfortunately, then you've got an earthy person that will look that way and they move away. But then you say, it's okay. I may have not been a mate that was supposed to be with him. This had to come and he had to leave because we made to part. And I'm at peace with that. Whatever names that they can call me, whatever names that they can be labeling us, it's okay. You have been called different names, witch, killers, that and that. But he says, only you know. I'm okay with it. I'm none of those. And I'm not going to bless myself with that. But I still love those kids. I still love all Twasas that came and that crossed my path. I wish them well. I pray for them every morning so that they prosper out there. It doesn't mean that be friend with them, but you just have to wish them well because your hands should be always clean. And no matter how hard you can hear, things that may be said, and you say, but you know me, the Most High and my ancestors and all spirits, you bear witness on this. But I wish well for them because you can't wish bad for them. You can't shut them down because as you shut down, and their things may shut down. And for you, as a star, this big star that is lighting, that's supposed to give light, you have to at least emit that light again and wish them well, not to be trouble. Whilst you suffer, but you are not going to suffer that much because you are a spirit. It's only the body that suffers. But from the spirit part, I normally sleep and wake up and I'm fine. I don't want to go back there. I'm done with it. But I would not say, I'm done, I don't want to speak to them and all. I don't have that time. I've got a lot of things to do. Time is just, it's a small time that we're here. It's a short time that we have to leave. So you move on and say, I wish you well. I remember them. I remember, I want to send something to them because I've gone. I'm no longer there where they are. It's not part of me. It's easy for uGobela to forgive those that are spiritually understanding that you have reached a point of, I can isolate myself from my body. I can isolate myself from the earthy life and become the spirit self. It is them that have made me to be here. And I'll continue with my journey. But however, I don't want anything to happen to them wherever they are. It will make me to feel bad. I do not want to see that.
Now we have so many people trusting. And one of the things that come up frequently is that it's become fashionable. Kuba Sangoma. The one thing they will speak of is that we would not leave our homes to go and sleep and klalimtin webantu if we did not have idlozi. or we did not have to twasa. So we are in those spaces because we are actually compelled to be. Nathi uGobela are just so eager to twasisa abantu because maybe we want to have many twasas, or it is a way to make money, and also people batwasa. Labanye people out there are just vulnerable. Labanye bevangathi ukuthi kufanele batwase kanti akufanele ukuthi batwase. There's so much going on in the space that we actually now need to also understand, so that we are able to assist people not to have to go through intwaso that was actually not even necessary. And also because then I also would like you to explore what you think then are the implications of kutwasa and bekungafuneki kutwasa.
I would want us to look at our country, because we are coming from a very sick, a very painful past. We're coming from a space where there's blood all over. We're coming from a space where the spirits are lying all over, and these are different spirits from ancient times, from time now when there was apartheid, where people were just killed randomly, and such souls were not moved, were not cleansed, were not moved, were not, channeled to a space where they're supposed to go. So you'd look at in schools were areas where at that time the regime would go and kill kids at school. It was a very bad space, and all these schools, they were never cleansed, and all these souls were never moved. So they are there, still crying even today. There are those that are on top of the mountains, in the streets and everywhere, which they need attention. And I think what we are seeing, it's more the cry of the spirits that they want to move, to be moved, to be cleansed and healed, so that they can see the way out. But if we are not going to do that as abelaphi, as spiritual people, we'll be seeing this thing. And it's affecting our kids, not in a sense that mele necessarily babe yabangoma, but it will show symptoms of having idlozi. It will show symptoms of having these kind of things and unruliness sometimes. It will show signs of aggressiveness. But not in a sense that is. But these ones are not controllable at the moment. So you would agree with me that we never had a space where sisusa imifuqwa, sisusa iminqwi. There are a lot of things that are happening in the country. So nathi, when we came back, we took over as Africans. We forgot that we had to clean the land. To cleanse the land, we forgot that we had to move spirits away from where they're supposed to go. We did not do that. We celebrated freedom, but our freedom, hence we are unable to even to govern this country because of these spirits that are lying around. So every time there would be abantwana that are coming, bavugelwa, yilezinto ezibavugela esikolweni. We'll call them demons in a way, but these are spirits that have never been channeled. And as long as we are not Tina, the star children, the star people of this country, able to communicate with these spirits, we are going to see all these troubles that are coming. Abanye uGobela, where they come from, they may have not been taught on rituals. I mean, as uGobela, you are a tutor, you are a sage, you are also someone that is highly knowledgeable, an elder. But you take tune from different spaces, because it's not only the space that we live in. You've got other dimension that we're living in. So I think with so much pain that we are carrying as Africans in this land, but also people that came in the land, others as well are affected. It's no longer affecting only Africans. You find it's across, because Ugufa at that time had no color. So a lot of people died, and they died painfully. Hence, people will talk of Amandao. Now suddenly we've got a lot of people about Amandawe, but when they inflame, So the implication of you, uyotwasa, and utwase, idloti, that you cannot even trace where it's coming from. Because most idlotin, and you become utwasa, you should know who, law or pets. you should know ukuthi how do you connect with this idloti lifunani lifuna ukuthi kwendweni, you know. And abanye abogobela, they don't listen kumachwasa ukuthi athini. They don't listen ukuthi uthwasa uthi hayi ngathi akusiko la. Yabona abantwana mobashayela ugobela, you are able to pick up ukuthi lo slow, lo fast, but lo over fast ubu abnormal. Ukhona umntwana ongakuvukela yathi otokuvukela la ephehlweni, umntwana avukele ngokuthi ufuna ukubulala wena gobela. Asho futhi ukuthi ngitakubulala mina. Awusathi ukuthi utongibulala kwende njani? Athi mina ngiphela ngibuye empini mina. Ngitokubulala. Yabona? And now you say, okay, who's this? You know, how do ngifuna ukuhamba mina. Ngashiya mina etintabeni. Abangiphanga nokudla now you see it, oh lo uyagula lo. So you have to call the family immediately and to say kunaledloti elifikile kulo. Lifike lathi. Bathi jalo lo ekhaya yiloko bokumenzela. And melivuka uvuka abhonge afuna utshwala abekela eduze kakhathatha ugwaye abheme phakathi endlini. And the families, they don't know how to control the situation. So mosolshayela solinikele mithi oliphuzisa oyidlisa yona egobongweni noma uyamkhoshisa noma uyambhemisa uyamelapha phela liyaqubuka labe lizifihle khona lithi mina ngangilwe empini ngalwa ngenda lokhu ibhlungu impilo yethu gogo mina ngenda lokhu engikufisayo ukuthi nje ningikhulule ngikwathi ukuhamba yingangi ngimhlupha lo mfana ngimhluphela lokhu ngihambeni ngisenza unethizi ngimtshelile nazo ukuthi akavuka entabeni uzofica ngithole ningikhulule ngihambe utawukhululeka ukuthi abe kahle. Belifuna nje ukuthi likhulule, belingafuni ukuthi lifuna ukuthwasisa, belingafuni ukuthi lifuna ukusebenza abantu. Kusikhathi esibuya kuso sesithwasa bona ngiyajuluka nokujuluka. Uyangwisa kude ngokucabanga. Sikusikhathi la uhulumeni kumele acabange ukuthi singabelaphi bendabuko ngokudabuka kule live. Le live lalunjwa. Kunetindlela ezenzakalayo ukuthi uma kuthi unezikolo la abezinye inkolo bayakwazi kuba ama private school abo because they have the right to do so and to protect religion and culture, they have the right to do so, you know, and others as well. But now you are in the space of the African child that is at school that is affected by this, and aguna private school yabo, aguna special school sabo. Obviously you'll see them as benzani la, because idloti alitshelwanga ukuthi lo mntwana uyesikoleni noma sesiku school esiso ngalendlela esikhona. And we find sometimes ukuthi la isikolo la sakhiwe khona sakhelwa phezulu kwamathuna, you know, and akuzange kukusisa kuningi okwenziwa okungekho kahle in this country esihlala kuyo. You understand? So now we are saying government, we should be looking to say, isn't it's time as well that we create private schools for these children, and sibe nabo teacher that will be able to teach them esikoleni, so that mega phuma lapha ya kuleyo yandlela angabi ukuthi uya discriminate or uya stigmatize or something like that. Immediately abuyele esikoleni ayoqhubeka ngendlela okumele aqhubeke ngakhona. You understand? So akwadi ukuthi ugobela meka mkhulula nasekhaya bangathi hayi lo hlulekile ephehlweni utawubuyela kabantu, because this thing ukuthi umuntu idloti lithi ngikhululene ngibuyele ekhaya bese nithi hayi uzongena uma engena ekhaya uzoletha ukufa. Akukho bogogo. Muyamthatha idloti selithe akusiyo lengifunayo. Kumele umende njani? Angithi ngizomthatha mina ngihambe ngiyomgeza. Abakubo bakhona la. Simphahlele ngoba lithe akusiko lokho. Bese bahambe ke bakwenze lokho abakwenza ngakamasiko abo bamfake ekhaya. Umntwana aqhubeke nempilo yakhe. Kuyothi mhlawumdlane uma kuthi likhona lizobuye. But the other thing ubothola ukuthi ama symptoms we TB, ama symptoms ka HIV, they're mimicking exactly umuntu onedlozi. If ungakwazi ukudiagnose as ugogo, you'll miss it. Uthi umntwana unedlozi kanti akanalo. Umthwasisi kanti ama symptoms wokufa okuthile, not necessarily ukuthi athwase. Because at the time ugula, idloti lakho liba seduze. At the time ugula kakhulu liba la nawo, liyakusurround, liyakhuluma nawo. Idloti likhuluma every day. Liyakhuluma nawo likubonise ukuthi mhlambe ube comfortable, awuthathe lela bhayi uligcoke liza kulapha. So umntwana mekalibona ukuthi ngiphiwe le bhayi yilo ngilibonayo ukuthi mangiyephehlweni, but sometimes let's take that so that you are able to be comforted. Not necessarily. Or take that and go kugogo sibanibani. and ugogo uzokusiza, because wena you're supposed to know ukuthi le mntwana mekeza uzothi efika bese ngiyamkhothisa noma ngimenze njani uzoba ngcono. Not that kumele umthwasise, but you can only know that if ujula ngokujula kwedloti la liqhamuka khona.
As Gobelas, we need to be able then to check, to see ukuthi what is this? Is this ingulo? Is this kugula? If sangoma sithwasisiwe kahle and those spirits are settled, then the unruliness should not be a part of your life. Those things should be settled, because Lidloti is very humble in nature. Lidloti will present in a certain way. But now we have Tangoma that are unruly, Tangoma that are always drunk, Tangoma that are doing drugs. How do you relate all of this, and what is your opinion on how we can actually heal that of people that have already twasad and are still struggling with these things?
Akuwo wonke umuntu out start there again. Not alone being isangoma that we are saying it's fashionable. It's a symptoms. It's part of symptoms of which we need to heal the land, as you said. There are those that are called to heal the waters, to heal the land, to heal the plants, to heal the mountains. We are called in different ways, and you know it like ephehlweni langu yakhona. When you show signs of you being called to be uGobela, because not everyone that went ephehlweni will end up being uGobela. So when you show signs of you being called to be uGobela, it will show itself. There is no motive that you have to use. They will find you. They will come to you. At that time, empandeni langu yakhona thina uyathelela. Ukuthelela meaning you're becoming a Gobela in training. You cannot become a Gobela if you did not go Gobela in training. So you'll have to take labantwana back to ubaba. So a crisis ukuthi if you no longer have a relationship with ubabako, and here you are, abantu bafuna ukungena, or for some reason abantu bathi babone wena, you know. Remember that you go ubuye ephehlweni awathi nemfiso ukuthi boshweni. Awathi nama konke lokufakile ukuthi bokwenda imithi ephuma kanjani. You know, you have to go back to uGobela, and Tina uthelela ngabantwana baba bathathu, where you have to be trained. Now uGobela mekakutraina, they are looking at you, are you able to pick up any signs? Ukahle lo mntwana akekho kahle. Ngiyakhumbula nje ukuthi abayi2 ngimbokomela ukuthi babuyele emuva, ngoba kwakungakuthi kumele bathwase lokho kwakumele ukuthi bathwase ngesikubo, hayi umnguni nomndawo lenguthwasile. Kwamele ukuthi ba-branch out baye emalopeni baye kuphi kuphi, but mina bengiyindlela yokubaxhumanisa na someone that needed ukuthi bayothwasa lento ngabathwasisi lengiko, uyabona. And uyafihlelwa uba uthwasa Gobela in training, we become thwasas again, but in a space of Gobela in training, because now you are taught uti, are you able as a psychologist, you know, as a spiritual psychologist, to bona lo mntwana. Now it's you looking ngaphandle uzibheka ukuthi this is how I was, you know, what do I need to do? Are you able to mend ukuthi I meditate, you know, even if mhlawumbe ubaba wakho azange akubonise. Now labantwana, now when you come back to say but idlota lifiki kuye, uyamcheka umcheka ubona ukuthi noma sengihamba naye ngithi ngiyameditate sengithi siyala kumele sekhona akakwadi ukufikela emalwandle, uyasaba nokubona lapha yana, uyabona ukuthi akukho ready, because uma ngithi asihambe gogo siya kuphi kumele ngikuguide through. Uma sozofika kule ndawo uthi angiboni kuze kuphela inyanga uthi angiboni, kuhle umntana abantu umbusele emuva, ngoba ukwati ukuthi sozomnika igama. Yabona thina ngendlela la usithwe sengakhona umumfa umnika igama. You know, a person, that spirit has to speak. Ukuthi I am who, so and so, and how I relate with this person, and what is it that I'm asking this person to do. If uGobela has failed to do that, it becomes a problem kulo mntwana, because whatever that you do, you have to reflect back or refer back to say ledluti lithe likhulumela thi lifuna lokho, bese uthi mina la ekhaya mhlambe bakunike impande ezi10 mhlawumbe, you know, uthwasa kazi ukuthi kunetimpande ezi10, but if kuthi idlozi olishayela lizosho lithi ngicela utshela ubaba wakho ukuthi angafaki umuthi othile, litakutshela ukuthi ngicela ukuthi angafaki umuntu othile asiwudli thina, uyabona. Then kumele ubuyele kugogo, thokoza baba, ubabe naye kumele amamele baba kumithi onginika kona ukudla kwabo bathi bacela ungafaki umuntu othi uzothi wantelaphi ukuthi basho kanjalo uGobela ohloniphayo osebenzisana nedloti kumele akugweme athi kulungile ngizokukhipha vele bengikufaka kokunye mhlambe ukufakela ukuthi ubone ukuthi uthatha kude okokunye ufuna ukucacisa ukuthi elinye lizothi angakuqubuli kakhulu because ikhona imuthi equbulayo ukuthi ubone ukwazi so uyahlanya wena lithi akehlise kancane sisahamba nawe omunye uthe fika umbone ukuthi lo uyagula not necessarily ukuthi ugulela ukuthi makathwase mhlawumbe kwakukhona kwakwendekile ekhaya mhlawumbe bona babamba umuntu ngoba kudalani le abantu they were able nabo to enslave other people and the person that is enslaved now he want or she wants freedom yakhe from this family but now she comes through this child ongene ephehlweni ukuthi no actually I'm not of your family I came to your family in this way where I'm coming from Namibia actually or I'm coming from Mozambique and this is how I ended up here. So the mdawo that they are talking about, they are not necessarily umdawo that kumele uhlehle. It's because this is an area where I'm coming from. I need you to go back home and tell them ukuthi ngilele kuphi because they've been looking for me and they don't know where I am. So uba iconjute yokuthi ukhona ukudirector manje lo mphefumulo lo ufuna ukubuyela ekhaya and when you grow up not knowing ukuthi there was someone like that. There were instances where people were captured by others, you know, and they enslaved them in a way. Now they want to go back home, you know, and they will go through you. Uguti, not that we want you to utwase. This what has came out. I want you to go back, and in my village, it's so and so. You'll go. This is what you're going to find. Because if you are not spiritually connected, bangavelanga, you are not going to do that. But now they make you to suffer and mimic ukula. Komuntu ophethwe yidlozi leli lifuna ukusebenza so that they are able to talk when you are vulnerable and when you are listening when you have gave up and your family is worried about you because you are between life and death now they will be able to answer back and when you come back there then they will say you just go back to uGobela wakho akhulule and go back not that uhlulekile phehlweni. So I think the other thing it's the challenge of discrimination stigma sokuthi people bayahluleke phehlweni but also the Gobela as a Gobela in training they are teaching you to listen where you're coming from because you need to be trained. You need to ensure that you sleep ka Gobela. You go back and mentor amathwasa akho. You go back uGobela will teach you how you make a stitch semfiso. Will teach you imithi. Tina, you go to an extent to go in the ehlathini and go uyokhomba iphansi lakho lomnguni nephansi lakho lomndawo ukhombe iganzela because kumele zibe ntathu. You cannot be Gobela without knowing those things and we go there and tell them ukuthi impanze lebo yidla impanze bani and how do you get it and how uma kuthi kumele uthole iphakama how do you get iphakama and what is iphakama. As Gobela in training, they won't do it most so to us. But when you're saying, they say, Gobela na matwas, you're facing another world. A total strange world where you have to even bakfihlele nembuti yakho ezomisa ubuGobela bakho. And they have to hide all those things and uzipule. And that is where then they would say, no, Gogo, you're faking it. You are not uGobela. So abaningi aboGobela give up. Omunye utawuphuma ke adube ahambe sikayozicalele yakhe impanzi because athi impanzi angitholanga awuyitholanga because it's not what you are given it's what you are asking for but mophiwe idloti lakho yile ebhula because mebafihla bafihleli mina bafihlela lamadloti akithi yingokuthi movusa idloti mina bogogo bangifihtelanga ngeke ngikwazi ukubhula mina kodwa yini nizoyibhula imfihlo 2 seconds imfihlo yonke uzanayo because bafihlele lamadloti. But ungasi uGobela uyaduba sesikubona sofaka ibenches kunokuthi ufake isihlahla sempanzi kumele abantwana badle yona ubadlisa into engazange idliwe ongazange uyidle wena ubathatha ubanike yona so it becomes wrong koGobela to do that you know and if kuthi uphiwe kamampela ungayijahi you know I never wanted ukuthwasa I never wanted uGobela and here I am but ngisawasaba amathwasa ngiyawasaba mina amathwasa. I've been uGobela for more than 20 years, but I still not, you know, ngiyacela ngithi bogogo imani because there's a lot of challenges ngabantwana babantu because if bangena kuwe baze ukuzolashwa usuka la suka khona bamlethe kuwe ngamabomu ukuthi uzomlapha either umlapha ekhanda ingqondo ayikho kahle or umlapha isimilo. That is why uthi mozongena la kwami egate yathi ukuthi konke kuchithekile awathi lutho. Empty your cup so that I'm able to make it full. And I have to cleanse this cup first so that I will put more ulwazi until it becomes full. I will do my part, but we still have a long way to go. Ngeke uthi uhleli 6 months or a year then usitshela ukuthi uyazi. We are not yet isangoma when we are 6 months. You say it takes more than 2 years. It used to take 4 years to be isangoma. Because more Pumala, this is just the base. This is just an introduction. Idloti lakho kumele likufundisa ngoba likufundisa kwawula ekhaya. Uma ungafuna ukulalela ngitobona ngawube ukuthi ihlaba la isibhobo. Gogo kwenze njani? Sithi gogo khuluma kwende njani? Why ungakhuluma? Uyathi ukuthi gogo khona okufihlile idloti lifuna ukukhuluma kodwa ubambile wena. Ulfake noma uthi uyalivusa. So uGobela kufanele umuntu umbuke. Umuntu evusa idloti ephethe idloti nawo nedloti livuka kumele livuke kuwe Gobela immediately njalo alihayiza nje kayi1 kumele ukuthi kunawo uze ukuthi hayi ulivusile mbamba umntwana abantu umbheke so that uyamchanela ukuthi uthini gogo mekathi uyaye kumbamba uthi gogo uthini anguvu ukuthi uthini uze ukuthi nawe uyathuthumela ukuthi ngiyakuva gogo uthini umyekelele ungamyekeleli ukuthi ayekele umzimba ngoba liyabaleka so mfundisi ukumbamba ukuthi akwazi ukulibamba but umele ngenalo linobuntenga ukubona ukuthi hayi alihlalisekanga kahle lela likho kwende njani so kumele ubuke ke manje jula ukuthi kwende njani uma kukuhlula phuma uye komunye uGobela owesame mpande yakho musu kuya somewhere ngeke ngithi ngithwasa umnguni nomndawo ngithi ngathi ukuthwasisa amalopho amakhosi sithi angikwati mina ngazi umnguni nomndawo kuphela ngazi umnguni nomndawo nesiprofit okunye angikwazi ngazi lokho engifundiswa ngako engafundiswa ngako ezuGobela ngaphakamisela ngawo amaphanze neganzela okunye angiphiwanga alikafiki lelo hluti angisuthwasisa zonke thwasisa lezi ezithuphe engizaziyo so nathi aboGobela yebo ungaphiwa umnguni nomndawo bese bafike bathi abanye mhlawumbe ubuya eSuthwini noma ubuya kwenye indawo bathi gogo sicela uphume uye kuleliya hlathi uyofika uthola ugogo uzofika kuthwasise ngendlela ethile vuma musu ukuthi la ekhaya uGobela athi mina ngithwasisa konke zonke nekhamba lako konke cha mina ngiyaphika gogo impande singathi impande mhlambe icishe ukufana kodwa ukwenza kwako akufani esikubonayo namhlanje mina ngithwasa umnguni nomndawo umushayela idlozi lomnguni alifani idlozi lomndawo uma ngigida isigubhu somnguni idrum yakhona ayifani lomndawo ngeke ifane neyamakhosi ingoma engivusa ngayo inkani ayifani yamandawo iphelela lapho uma bazokuthi ngo12 uyofika uthi then uyokhalela ukufa kwakho ukhala ngale ngoma aphinde ucule empilweni yakho imfihlo ihlale lapho uma kuthi uyehlisa idlozi uyohlisa ngale ngoma aphinde ucule futhi phelela lapho zonke zinama stages until uzibuyele ekhaya mosofika ekhaya ngasaziculuzi lesiyana zabobingelela ugogo usula wena manje sesikubuyisela ekhaya manono sewabuyile ekhaya ogogo bakubizile nasemndaweni kanjalo but today uthola konke la sihlangane khona it's like sesenza noma kanjani mina ngikwazi ukugida amakhosi noma ekhaya kusebukhosini kodwa angikakabi nokuthi kunedloti lele livukayo kodwa ngibukhosi lobo babuqhamuke le ukudlula kubokhongo ukudlula kuphi lawo madloti angihluphayo hayi la wakhona ngala so ngicabanga ukuthi oGobela we need our own school separately as soon as ungena uthwasisiwe bakuthwasisa uGobela buyathwasela go like ngisho ukuthi I was a Gobela in training until I graduated. You graduate and have a badge lakho ubuhlalo busho ukuthi uGobela nembuzi yakho nani then go outside and engage nabanye aboGobela and have ukuthi how do I then go about but go kuboGobela mhlambe laba bathwasele into enithwasile your own peers so that you are able to assist each other maybe kunala usele khona angeke ngisaba ukukutshela if uthwasa umnguni nomndawo ukuthi hayi phela gogo thina uma wenza igone yabona because sithwasile manje sesikhulile sithwasa into efanayo hayi bogogo niyabona ukuthi asisasithola isihlahla esinje nesinje ake sibuze nabogogo ukuthi singende njani ngoba naku sesishodela ilokuyana noma sokumele sikutshale noma sokumele sifune ihlathi noma sokumele sendeni ukuthi senzele ukuthi labantwana bayithole lento esiyitholile thina singathi sesibabuka sithi ampela amahlanya laba inhlonipha yiki inhlonipha iqala lapha ekhambeni kokunye umnika umuthi bokungamelanga umnike wona wamnika ugedegede nje umuntu waqhumela waya phezulu kanti bokungamelanga umnika umfazi othethayo awufuneki kulelo gobongo lakho
How can we actually correct that so that we don't have unsettled losses that now take over your life as a sangoma?
Ephehlweni la ngibuya khona, we're not encouraged to drink. You know, ngicale ukubona utshwala sengugobela. You know, ubaba yenhloko kunamaspin la ayibize bekazibiza ngendlela awuthi ngithi baba ngiyesaba ngizophathwa ama tonsils athi uyohlala uthwasa kuyoze kube nini ayi gogo mina kuyangihlula ngengilunge uma nikufuna ngizonithengela but mina ngiyengikhona yabona but mose ephehlweni kumele uwazi ukuthi uhlushwa yini kunethwasa elingenayo gogo yazi ungihlekisa enye indaba kunethwasa elingenayo lingena litshontshe emsamo litshontshe utshwala bakho ugobele emsamo yabona uma sithela utshwala uma uphahla ngithi siyabuthela phansi omunye uyabunatha kukhona ngibunathayo mina budluli ngiyabusaba ebiyababa nkosiyami ngiyabunatha ngibukhiphele ngaphandle ngibuthele abanye bayanatha yabona so kuya ngecup yokuthi unatha kangakanani kodwa it's not meant for us ukuthi sibugwinye yabona kwabanye kwezinye izizwe ngiyabona nakwabanye kwezinye izizwe zakhona la eAfrika bayaphuza gosho nje bakukhuza ukuthi gosho kujwayeleke yabona so ngicabanga ukuthi uma usephehlweni okokuqala kimi uma usephehlweni usekuzileni usekufeni awuzelanga ubumnandi la uze ngoba kunalo okuhluphayo lo okuthreatenisha impilo yakho lo ukuthi kwaze kwenza kanje mina ngenza kanje mina idlozi engilishayele kumathwasa lawo seliphumile lisekhaya ngiyalibuta ukuthi usuphuza kanjani wazange uphuze sephehlweni zange ukusho ukuthi mina ufuna amalalambela manje sowugida sothi ufuna amalalambela gogo mhlambe kukhona engikumisile engingakwadi ngibude la ekhaya kukhona lengithi wayefika ekhaya wayethanda ukubeka bangithe ukuthi abeka ibhiya la udabula you know mokumsukile kwasha kwacima sanele sashayela udabula kaphinda angaphuza utshwala so kubona ukuthi kunale okunye kwespirit okwaku unruly kuye nokubhema akabhemi shem akaphuza akabhemi noma sephehlweni azange aphuza bhemi uthi ngaphuza akabhemi akathini uthe efika nje labonga idlozi lakhe lathi akahamba emsebenzini usesemncane akethe ukusebenza kukhala mina ngithi dabula indumba athi baba akakafiki mina basanginike umsebenzi baba yabona noma ngithi ngizokuvakashela ngifuna ukuze emsebenzini hayi baba with good shots zohlala nje endumbeni kodwa mina bathi ngiyemsebenzini because ngihlala ngingekho ekhaya nabantu bebafika uma bezofika bangitholi so uma ugobela kuyangihlula ukuba namathwasa amaningi kokuqala kumele uthwasa nothwasa umazi kusuka ekhanda uyomkhiphela lapha uthwasa kumele umbone mekavuka ekseni ukuthi kuvuke liphi namhlanje elinjani leli why li behave ngalendlela ube somvusa isidlozi kwesinye isikhathi liba nenkani lingafuni ukuvuka angafuni ukuthwasame lapha nje inkani ivuke ubone ukuthi uzongishaya namhlanje ngithi okay kulungile mina ke ngishaya ngesigubhu angimshaya uthwasa ngilifaka ithwasa iskanama umntana abantu akenziwa kanjalo idlozi lenziwa njalo because uyagula lo mntwana siyoxabana esigubhini ngiyakushayela no 2 hours 3 hours anginankinga ngiyokushayela lize livuke inkani le yakho ngizoyikhipha lapha esigubhini uzusho ukuthi kukanje nekanje ngithi gogo ngifuna ukukhuluma nawe ngifuna ukukhuluma nalo ongafuna ukungikhulumisa naye asishaye gogo athi ngithi gogo alikakafiki lelo angilizwa alikafiki liyothi la sekakhathele khona kumali khuphukayo ke bese lisho ukuthi lo obeka khona ngahlushwa usibanibani nakanje mthatheni lo nihambe niyomgeza uhlulwa yiloku noloku kokunye uthola ukuthi ngibe namathwasa eliwane lavela lathi akazange agezwe ngoba kwaba nesika esenzeke ekhaya noma yena waba nento ethila yenza yabona so ngicela nihambe nomgeza ngoba kwesisikhathi uthi umshayela kanti kuvuka icala leliya elenzeka you understand that is why we say more especially from women also male if it has happened that you have encouraged anyone to abort the child or you have aborted ensure that you cleanse all those spirits because ziyavuka ephehlweni and mezivuka unruly because they are saying waslimaza and we are not going to make you to be at peace so we make sure that naye uyamelapha ulapha ubuphelela kwakhe because umezolashwa uzolashwa ingqondo uzolashwa umzimba ulashwa umoya wakhe but umoya wakhe kumele umfundise ukuthi you can separate yourself from the body and become the one that is bigger than the body because the body is only it's that space that you use to communicate but there is the I you that is more than who you are. So allow that I that is not now, because there's smaller you, there's bigger you, there's I and there's I. So bring that one, because wuyo kumele simkhulumise. Nanoma uthwasa akuthwasi wena, uthwasisa the I loya ofuna ukudlula, because uma uya entwaseni awuyi ngoba kuya ufihliwe or kuya ushile. It's not me oya entwaseni. Lo ongithumile ukuthi mangiye lapha is the one that is going to take me through iphehlo, because it's not an easy thing. You give up everything, you give up your life, you have to trust the space, you have to trust the spirit ongakaze wahlangana nazo. You know, you are there, your mind, you become challenged, you become a child, you become not knowing anything. You understand? But if kuthi kuzothwasa ushila mina I'm going to fight noGobela ngithi ayenziwa lento kimi. Mina me commissioner Shem. Kuzongitshela mina baba. I know this thing. And mongena phehlweni you know nothing. Allow the spirit to teach you. And ushila should not be aggressive kuwe. Sheila should work with your spirit to say gogo aliphakami ledlozi. And be honest ukuthi gogo aliphakami ledlozi. Ungathi ngizomthwasisa sengikhathele ilento mayidlule. You understand? Most of the time what you have seen, abantwana babantu bayadluliswa nje, mayidlule. And mase kafika ekhaya because ungazange umelaphe. So now again that thing starts, uyahamba uyoguqula. Angazi uguqulani. Uyahamba uyoguqula, uthi ngiguqula impande. You know, uyahamba uyoguqula aphume futhi angene, and ukushintsha kwesinye isikhathi kuze kuthikameza umqondo umzimba, because now the dlozi, that one, the spirit that needs to be initiated, you know, it's actually you're not initiating the spirit is already here. It wants to say I want this body to be able to do what he has been commanded, ipurpose yakhe of being here, because akakakwenzi okufanele kwakwenze, ukuze akwenze kumele adlule kule yambobo akwazi ukuphumela ngale. You understand? Asese uya senyameni, it won't happen, because iphehlo kumele ligobe ingakuthi gobela, limele ligobe likwakhe ukuthi ukwazi to submit to yourself, likwazi to submit to the spirits around you, to submit to the plants, to submit to the animals, to know the land, which today the land is not happy, to know the stars, to know the moon, to know the sun, which it is not happy. It's communicating with me in a different way. The rain, the way it's coming, it's not dropping down, it's floating, and something is about to happen. You can only know that when you have moved out from your body and become the spirit that you are. You can only do that when we are able to transit into different levels, because we're supposed to move from all this dimension. Mengifika ngithi kuwe gogo ngizokhulekela ngithunyiwe la ekhaya. Gogo supposed to go emsamo wathi bogogo nangu umntwana uthi uzokhulekela. Akakhulekeli kimi ushila akakwazi ukuthwasisa, mina ngikwazi ukuthwasisa. You know, you're supposed to go emsamo ukuthi bogogo angazi noma ungena la sekungena icala, because icala lembula ingobo lingena. I'm not sure how this child is going to survive. You know, anything can happen. That child can die ezandleni zakho, and it's something that I do not. What is it that I need to do? How do I do this? Today he seems so mad. I don't know. When uGobela vusela kidlodi, mobona ukuthi umntwana uyakuhlula, vusela kidlodi ukhala ukuthi bogogo nimlethe nithi makazo lapheka la ekhaya. Kodwa ngendlela okwendeka ngakhona niyabona kunengxabano emathongeni akhe, kunokudonsisana. Yini okumele ngikwenze? Uyahlehla uGobela uyahlehla lisho ukuthi likuphendule noma lingakuphenduli. Uma kuthi kunengxabano uthi bogogo ngicela ke ngokuthi umuntu akalahlwa, salani senimsiza la nala, yabona, ukuze kusizakale. Yiliphi ikhambi okumele ngilenze? Ngiletheleni umumvu ozoza to come and assist me in ensuring ukuthi le spirit ngiyamsida. Uma uGobela ungakwadi ukukwenda lokho, ungakwazi nawe ukwehlela etansi, just to be allow the spirit to rule, because angizenzanga ngithi ngendiwa umsebenzi wabalele akusiwo umsebenzi wami. Yabona thina mawuze ephehlweni, the day uthwasa, all your families has to be here, all of them, they have to be here, or else ngeke uthwasa. Ngolosine kumele ugezwe amacala akho watiyo nongawati. Kunembuzo uyagedwa konje ukuthi kusuke okwaziyo nongakwazi ongazange ukugezela kuningi esikwaziyo esikwenzayo. You know, there are a lot of things that we do that would affect us as healers. You know, whether you've done it as a child or as you grow up, there are a lot of things. You have stolen, you have said something, you have gossiped, you know, there are a lot of things that we do. But on Thursday, we then say, Gogo, because it's ngolosihlanu, into asoyiqala ngolosihlanu phela Sunday. Thursday uyahamba uyogeza emfuleni o different from lo ozoparulelwa kuwo. Now after logo on Friday immediately nje kufihlelwa imbuzi yakho sikufaka idzumane phela wafaka idzumane so ungena ukuthi usemgonqweni so ungenela ukuthi manje ngizilile and kumele umzimba so uyabaleka manje ukuthi ngiyagula. Uma kuthi umuntu ungamsitanga abanye bayahamba ngalelo langa o uzohamba ekseni bayashona abantwana babantu ephehlweni o uzoshona ekseni ngaleso sikhathi usoyathi ukuthi nawo amadloti wakho wonke la uGobela uzilile usemoyeni wedloti naye uthwasa uzilile kodwa uyambuka ukuthi uzilile kodwa uyagula lo kuyomela ukuthi ngimnika umdokonyana ukuthi uyabona ngimanage the physical part the vital parts zakhe ezidingekayo kodwa uhlala usedlozini ulala emsamo awumbhedo wakho ushiyile bogogo umntanenu lo bogogo la konemina khona ngicela ningixolele kube iphutha bogogo ngisiteni bogogo nina bomkhulu njanjani ekseni ngo5 ngovivi ngabo 4 sekucedziwe sesitelungisela manje ukuthi akahamba sihlala inhlolo ukuthi liyavuma noma alivuma hlala inhlolo ukuthi uyathwasa noma akathwasa ushaya inhlolo ukuthi kuvumelekile lithi nje akathwasa lisho nje ukuthi akathwasa hawu ngoba wente njani kunecala elinje na kanje umndeni uhleli la bazali bakhe loya naloya baxabana ngalo ugula lo mntwana uguliswa ulwakusuyo ogulayo hawu yingako uthina ke uthenga inkukhu mhlambe ezi4 uthenga inkukhu ezi4 le2 sesizothenga ngayo amacala le2 lesobarula ngayo emfuleni kunacala liphi usekalithwele uthwasa gogo nomkhulu nina nathi kanje kunjalo hayi kunjalo labantu abakhulumisana lemndeni ayizange ifunani bathukana nokuthukana bathuka lo mntwana bathuka ledluti bobabili umntwana usephehlweni bayathukana bona ngaphandle idlothi lithi ngeke athwasa angeke sihambe thina la ngeke sibuyele emuva sobuyela kuphi ngoba basifuni singamani sifele ephehlweni uyancenga gogo uncenge umntwana abantu kuyomela aphuma yogeza getelele family labadali bakhe emva kwaloko kumele kwenziwe enye inhlanzo futhi bobabili bakhumisana umlotha before angayothwasa uma kungendekanga lokho nimbophile lo mntwana ngeke akwazi ukusebenza uma kuthi unobungoma omunye uyophuma ahambe ngoba kusenomsindo emuva ukhishwa ngoba kuyagulwa ekhaya abafuna ukulalela abanye balithukile leli dloti abanye bathi abamfuni makahambe njani uma efika lapha ephehlweni umntwana abantu unenkinga that is why abanye uthola ukuthi umuntu sekayaphuma uyoguqiswa esigangeni ngoba lingafuneki idloti ekhaya uguqiswa esigangeni le kuthi hayi sekufika isikhathi kade uhleli la ekhaya ngcono soguqiswa esigangeni uguqiswe lapho.
Before ngiyongena ephehlweni, I had never had any experience with Sangoma. So this is me. Now I am a Sangoma. So how am I navigating in this space as a new person? How do I go back into the world now as a new person? Because it's so much easier when you say phehlweni kababu wakho and you're with other Sangomas, you're seeing Sangomas, other initiates. But masuphumela ngaphandle, it's okay, now this is a new me. Now I'm coming back to this world as a Sangoma. That was a challenge for me, and it also needed a kind of getting used to. How then do I fit myself back into the world?
So adjusting, like you say, to others and sleeping on the floor. I'm not used to sleep on the floor, but you have to adjust yourself. And ekhaya, now you have bazonishayela. They are telling you ukuthi amambatho enu you have to niwacamele. If ungalicamela ngabazolithatha bazolifihla. And I said, how on earth lizothathwa ulokulele nayo or so you see ulele kodwa ulalanga kumele ucamele ngenye indlela uyazi kodwa 2:30 ngizovuka ngoba kumele ngihlehle ngo3. Now you have this one, as you say, there are a lot of challenges mothwasa nabanye abantu. Omunye would be looking at what you are doing, omunye uyakwazi ukukhuluma nobaba. Sure, gogo nhloko this akakhulumi nathi nani. But you are not that I didn't want to talk, but I was feeling tired most of the time. And ngifuna ukureflect, because before I would sleep I would just have to write. I had my own journal. Then I would have to write mini bukuze umuntu, and this is what I did. Then I would write out ubaba uthe ngithathe lokhu nalokhu so that ngizombuza, and I would put it aside in case kuba nephupho. Yes, amaphupho asephehlweni are very tricky. So ngizomtshele lokhu nalokhu uyobuza hayi usenkanini, but I avoided a relationship naye because now we had other two that are coming from another space. And lo munye uyacabana, and yeah, I made Indumba to be where I hide, my hiding space. Ukungayi ekishini kakhulu ngcono ngihlala emthini ngiclean Indumba bekangivumela ubaba ngehlisa amaphansi akhe ngimcleanele nani. It was assisting me actually on another way strategically to learn imithi. Yes. Because I would then say, umuthi othize nano when she comes with nhloko umuthi othize ngento baba ishelf le ngiphuthe ngayiqoqa kanjalo. Then I learned with okay akana problem ukuthi ngakwenza lokho ngimlungisele nani. But I had a problem with Abu Babi as anywhere, and I think I took myself out kubaba, ukuthi this is not what I was bargaining for. Angifuna ukulwa nabantu because ephehlweni akuhlejwa, ephehlweni noma kubhlungu, because sometimes things can just come so sendabeni ngento ongayazi and you'll end up crying. I one stage wanted to run away. Actually, I just felt fed up. Good, I can't take this. I woke up at 2:00 and I was crying and I said, and I didn't. Ekseni, it was telling me now, Inkani, because I was being Senkanin, to say, take your bag and move out of this house. This is not what you are here for. And for some reason, she understood, because Bisinga Shailwa will Shailwa Bany. But she woke up that day, Ukzo Shaila, and she said, I know that you want to go. And I was saying, Angeke Baba, I'm done and I want to go. Angzelanga lento emotionally I was breaking abantwana bamba bodwa, and my sister was young at the time. I need to leave. And said thatha umthwalo wakho uhambe. Just like the thatha umthwalo wakho uhambe. And I went, ngaqoqa into zami wathi phuma. And I cried for the fact now she says mangiphume. And I want to ngiphuma, but now she's telling me ukuthi mangiphume. I cried ukuthi seriously akancengi kodwa akasasho nokuthi hayi kwasha kwacima kwasha, and she was saying just leave my house if this is what you feel. Angeke ngiliphikise idloti lakho kumele lithi hamba uye la ufuna ukuya khona, kodwa ngizobona ukuthi uzophuma lapha egate. Then I said okay, uthi mangihamba uthi uzongibona ngizophuma egate, ngizombonisa ukuthi ngizophuma egate. Then I took my bags, mengifika egate ngawa phansi. Then I went back, ngafike ngahlala emsamo, and wathi mangishaya igobongo, ngashaya ibhudlu wathi ngahosha ngenza konke, but ngishayela isigubhu vusa idlozi ke sizwe ukuthi kwenzakaleni. Then I had to ngivusa idlozi ke ngikhulume lokho abakhulumayo ukuthi nana, that is how I discovered ukuthi now sengisenkanini le and bafuna ukuthwasa manje. Seliredi lifuna ukuthwasa lifuna ukuhamba.
The Nkani that we actually speak of, that yes, we actually, a lot of us actually don't understand it, and even us as Gobelas, we get really frustrated because now we're seeing, as a new Gobela, it's all frustrating because now you're seeing these people as now being disrespectful, but what is actually happening is that sesikhathi senkani, it's time for intwaso.
Yes, bebakhalela leso sikhathi sesifikile inhloko senkanini athi yinga kunenkani kanje, and at that time sengihuzukile senginjani sengondile, sokukhala kodwa umbilini wami uphezulu athi hayi inhloko so senkanini uzovusela kusasa ngo-12:00 kumele ukuthi wabe sengikhalela ukufa kwami. 12:00 ngabe ngihlehla exactly 12:00 ngikhalela ukufa kwami ebusuku. Wathi kuthathe ukufa uzawuphuma usuke, uyazi ukuthi ke thina sithwasa indawo uphuma kanjani uvusela uGobela ebusuku ngabo 12 ukuthi uyophuma ungene uguqe ngamadolo kusuka la nilala khona, uzohamba ngamadolo ungene endlini uze uyofika la ngikhona ngo-12:00, hayi 5 hayi 2 minutes or 2 seconds, uthi wabe sengikhalela ukufa kwami ubuphethe impande yakho. Ngakhalela impanzi wanginika ngayidla ke kusuka lapho ngabe sengubhutsi sengimtsala manje. Laba ke sebabancane ke sebagidza bodwa, nokushintsha ke sengimtsala, nokushayelwa sengishayela ngedwa ngibuye ngishayele nabo, though it became a strenuous, ngaleyo ndlela until ke ikulidela uyothwasa ukuthi mosuyothwasa ke kubhekeke wena bhuti, ngoba laba abanye balandele ngasemuva. Now noma uyodla intwaso kudla wena kunye thina ngaleso sikhathi bokungadli wena kuqala benidla nonke ngoba uhlelo futhi belidonswa lonke, so bebangakhipha wena ngoba ngimdala so bokhishwa laba abanye ke ukuthi ngizocindezela laba abanye, so kumele badluliswe bese kugcina mina emva kwalokho kodwa uhlelo basivumela ukuthi silidle sonke ngesikhathi sinye at that time ngaleza inkathi sasithwasa ngazo thina nokufihlelwa ke ngoba inkomo ngayifihlelwa ekhaya uyibhula kaGobela ukuthi inkomo yami nje ifihlwe ubani indawo nethize nani engitofika ngibhile ekhaya kwaba yimbuzi ukuthi uzoyibhula ekhaya.
What are you finding is the difference now with, because now we have so many initiates, so many people are initiating, and I like how you say that ngale saskhathi, which is when in that times when I was twassing, because it speaks to the fact that you have an understanding or you have seen that things have actually changed and things are different now. They're not done in the same way. Putting aside the differences in Mbande, because really the practices differ Mbande to Mbande, but there's also there should be, I think, a kind of standard for Wangoma and how things are done. What are you finding is so different from Waktwasawen and what is generally seen now?
Ukuzila, because ekhaya when umgidzi date iwa from the family in agreement with uGobela, so it will ensure one ukuthi ekhaya bebathi awuthwasi inkomo kaGobela ungayiqedanga, awuthwasi kunganalo kuyana abakubizile, but where there are challenges ubabe will say siside la kumele siside khona, which if unako you'll say nginabo ubuhlalo obunye ithi ngimnikeze umfowethu akanambuzi ithi sisize lapha nalapha because ifamily am assist, kufuneka lokuyana besingatholi ekhaya sithenga notshwala ekhaya nje bokuba okubalekile ukutshwala basemsamo bamadloti, then bese kuba mhlambe okubhodla ama-case nyana amabili amathathu, not more than that, obesilungu bebangabufaki ke okuhamba emphakathini bokuba umqombothi nje strictly, so that which is changed today, and we are not supposed to be seen having ibhodlela phambi kwakho. Ugogo bekaxoshe egate bekaphuma ejardini lakhe, because she would say if kuthi sebephuzile kuba nenkinga ekushayeni ngisho kwathi ithi ingomane, so kunomsindo, there is no that respect emathongeni, unlike what we see today, which it's a change, and also the space sabo Gobela, it was a respected space ekhaya where uGobela would be on their side lapha. These are our seniors, these are our gurus, these are people that we fear, noma uyakhona uGobela akabukwa emehlweni thina ubabe ugogo akabukwa emehlweni, but uma kuthi ethanzile bathi ngibheke ngoba indaba zisemehlweni ngeke ukwazi ukungibhula ungangiboni emehlweni, so you'll have that time being given to say uma usedlotini vula amehlo ungavala amehlo umbuke umbhule ngoba amehlo uzobona khona ukuthi, but me ungekho edlotini so ungamhlonipha ke ngaleyo ndlela, but ungamsabi mhloniphe nje umnike lo ntwaso. Unlike today, it's quite a very strange one. It's more than 20 years, more than 22 years in Twasile. It's quite a very strange space, and you find yourself saying, okay, I'm not sure where we are going, and also say there's so much that we need to restore and need to be restored. Abantwana bayathwasa, abanye you find a space ukuthi uyathwasa, maybe the child lawyer bekangekho ready, because mina ukuthwasa kwethu by the time ushayela ugajekwa, the time idloti lihla bathi malithukuke liwele phansi uGobela uyabhula babona ukuthi ngabe ngempela uphethele idloti noma uphepha amafufunyana noma iphethwe izizwe noma utolashwa, kungenzeka ukuthi kunalokugulo kokuphetha hayi ukuthi uphethe ukuthi kumele uthwase, kukhona okumele kulashwe ku, so bebakunika le 7 days, kule 7 days ulashwa ngayo ufikile kaGobela kula ucheckwa khona ukuthi nangempela lo uzeleni la khaya, ngathi ngafika le 7 days ukuthi ngathi unalo ledloti leli ake lishayelwe, uma kuthi uyazenzisa uzobhaja lapha, ngoba uzothi mothi liwile balibheke phansi balihlola akamunye mhlambe bathathu balihlola uthi hayi kuwe unhloko insizwa kaMbele, bathi babuke babeke inhlolo babuke bathi uthi kuweni gogo kube inhloko insizwa kaMbele o bakhulumisa osedlotini njalo njalo babhulile amathambo babekela bathi akuyeka uhlehla ucede lokuya bese bathi kuwe unhloko lo hlobana naye njani insizwa kaMbele mina ngitasho ngithi ngome kwehla umkhulu amsho behlaba bayi4 ngesikhathi si1 but bathi sithatha lo vele ecala kwaba unhloko insizwa kaMbele bathi kodwa unhloko lo othi insizwa kaMbele bayabhula bogogo yabhulwa gogo bayabhula bayofika esiswini la uqhamuka khona lo othi uvelile kuwe akusinguye kodwa uthunyelwe ukuthi kube nguye uvelayo kukhona umnikati wempanze lo thume wena kuthuza singeke sikutshele ngoba uwile wena wabamba lo kodwa uzovela utamkhipha la lo unhloko uvela kuwe ngoba uthi ufuna ukuthi agezwe walimala engozini emoto lokuyana nangempela uba umkhulu walimala engozini emoto uvele kuwe ukuthi ucela utomsita lokunalo kukhona lokangazange kwende kahle afisa ukuthi ukwende kunesikhwama esingazange sibe kahle afisa ukuthi usilungise sikhishwe sihambiswe leso ngoba zange uthe ehamba sasala ngasemuva singakho kahle yabona so akwenziwa lokho kwamanje uyabona. So I think a gap that we are having, it's us uGobela today, if they are not practicing, but I still practice what I was taught, you know, that kumele uhlole kumele wendeni umntwana abantu. Emva kwaloko kumele kususwe konke lokhu. Thina ekhaya kwakususwa konke umnguni mase niqedile. Now sokumele kuzogajekwa umndawo. Kungendeka ukuthi awe ngaleso sikhathi kungenzeka ukuthi angawi ngaleso sikhathi. But ukugajeka kwethu kuba ebusuku. Besingagajeki ilanga likhona ngoba umndawo kumele sigajeke so at least lebo after 9 if it means to, you know, ukuthi semalwandle manje kumele sibuyele emalwandle kuhlehliswe lapho kulesikhathi ubulashwa bokusetshenziswa ngisho imibhemiso yamanzawo ukuthi uma belikhona likhona uma livele lingazothathela kude omunye uthola ukuthi lithathele kude bathi gogo le oyifunayo akusiyo le awunalo ledloti leli lomtsawo unaleli elivelayo leli linya likakaveli uyabona uma ukuthi ngiyakhumbula kukhona umfana okeweta nakimi ukuthi ngimgajeke ngicetha nje umgajeke umnguni umkhulu wakhe wavela wathi uze la ngendlela errong kumele abuyele ekhaya atokwathi ubuyela eZimbabwe lo umntwana kumele abuyele ekhaya emuva ngigezi nje kusasa avuka thatha ngokwakhe abuyele ekhaya ahambe abuyele eZimbabwe ayolungisa inkinga zobukhosi bakhe baseZimbabwe akusibo ubukhosi bakhe lobo kwamele ukuthi simgajeke laphuma liphumile idloti kodwa laphuma selivuka selikhulumela ukhona umunye futhi kungekudala naye kanjalo kukhona manje kulenyanga ezivile ngithe ngimgajeka la gajeleka lavuka lathi ningamgajeka amanzawe akiko le kumele ayende akabuyele emuva ngoba kwaba nempi eyavela ekhaya akabuyela ayofuna ubukhosi bakubo kuqala kungangabuya ke azothwasa nakhona uma sesisho njalo and sonke lesikhathi sicabanga ukuthi uphethwe idloti lokuthwasa bokungesilo ubephethwe idloti la kubo lasebukhosini ukuthi akahamba ayolungisa khona kwamele akhumuliswe ngimgeze ngimkhiphe ngicela bakubo bede batomthatha abuyele emuva kuzothi mhlazane ledloti livuma lidecide ukuthi akabuye la ekhaya utawubuya uma linga decide nakhona kunalutho uma lithi makaqhubeke nomsebenzi makaqhubeke labonga lathi sicela umuphe ukokhotha ngoba kumsindisile kulamalanga usengcono manje useyakwazi nokubona uyezwa sicela umuphe umbhemiso kuzomqhuba lo ukuthi akhona ukusizakala la ngamnikeza umntana abantu wavalelisa kahle bamthatha nabakubo bahamba akafiki ukuthi abe yilokhu ofuna ukumenzisa kona lokhu kufuna abakhabonina abasicelanga abakhulumisananga nathi azange siphahlelwe ngalokho lokho enifuna ukumshayela kona so I think okunye ngibona kuyitho uGobela mhlambe esingalaleli noma wothwasa afisa ukuthwasa angazi kodwa kunephutha la selenzeka khona yabona kusikhathi samanje but ke kwabanye boGobela sibabonge basakwazi ukuthi hayi akubuyele emuva ngoba kwesinye isikhathi umuntu uza la hayi ngoba kumele athwase ingoba kumele abuye ayolungisa ekhaya akathwasela ukuthi kumele ayolapha abantu uthwasela ukuthi mhlambe kunogogo njengasekhaya kunogogo washona ugogo wami owayengikhulisa washona sephehlweni wabaleka wezekhaya wathi ngaqeda ngeFriday wabuyela emuva washona wachayiswa imoto akazange asafike ephehlweni. Now kumele simlungisele leyo nto ayenza leso sika leso. Kwamele silungise kushelezwe akhona ukukhululeka ahambe naye. Ahambe ngasesiso manje sangoma.